Another beautiful day in Washington, D.C. And a few minutes from the Capitol Mall, we are at Nationals Park, where the Rockies won on Friday night. Saturday belonged to Steven Strasburg, and today we shall see the Rockies facing Max Scherzer, and they'll begin with Charlie Blackmon atop the lineup. He was about the only guy who figured out Strasburg yesterday. He had a pair of doubles against Strasburg. Strasburg allowed just 3 hits. And the Southwest batting order, book your low fare now at southwest.com, features Charlie Blackmon up top. We'll take a look at the rest of the lineup in a moment. Scherzer is ready to go. And the first pitch on a Sunday afternoon on the inside corner at 93 for strike one.
Pretty impressive numbers for Max Scherzer when you're talking about 22 starts already, 3 complete games. This last 6 years, he's made at least 30 starts each of those years.
This is popped up in foul ground, and Anthony Rendon makes the catch. You can hear Ian Desmond yelling to him, "You have room." And here is now the Rockies lineup this afternoon. Reyes will bat second. Cargo will bat third. And then Nolan Arenado, who hit a home run yesterday. Ben Paulson, Michael McHenry doing the catching. He'll be in the 6th spot. Daniel Descalso giving DJ LeMahieu the day off. And Kyle Parker will bat 8th. He'll be in left field. Jose Reyes getting acclimated to his new team. Jose takes that pitch down, ball 1. Be nice for Jose. I was talking to him in the clubhouse today. He's going home tonight, gets to sleep in his own bed, because Reyes, the former Met, still makes his home on Long Island.
It's always
his wife and 4 daughters.
Yeah, that's always a nice thing when you can go home and get even just 3 or 4 nights.
Yeah,
you're gone for so long during the course of a season, including spring training. Just 3 or 4 nights kind of gives you that extra bounce. And say, I'm feeling good. I got to recharge the batteries.
Here's the 1-1 on Reyes, and this is popped up also out of play. Max Scherzer actually is below 500 at home this year, Jeff, despite a 2.86 ERA.
4-5. How about that? And he hasn't won since that no-hitter here. He's 0-2 since then in 3 starts.
They have to send him to Syracuse.
Yeah, he needs a tune-up.
Now you'll see some 95s, 96s from Scherzer, but he won't sit on the same velocity that you saw from Strasburg. But the arm slot is different. He is a slinger.
More lower 3/4 out to the side.
This is bounced to second. Anthony Rendon at third yesterday. He's playing second this afternoon, and they're 2 outs. Well, the Nationals will have Jason Worth back in the lineup. He had yesterday off. Michael Taylor again in center. Bryce Harper naturally is in right field. Yunel Escobar was a scratch yesterday. He did not feel well. He's healthy again. He's at third base. Desmond, Rendon, Zimmerman, and Wilson Ramos with the catcher here on again. So he's caught all 3 ball games. The heck with the old day game after a night game.
Well,
he's in there today. Yeah,
they want Lobaton to catch Gio Gonzalez tomorrow night out in L.A. So he'll still get his time off. But they wanted that matchup. And also talking to Matt Williams said that he just likes the way Ramos is swinging the bat now. So keep him in the lineup today. Give him in 48 hours off.
Cargo tags this one to deep right field, and he is going to jog around the bases again. He gets his old friend Max Scherzer, 1-0 Colorado. Second time in his career he has taken his former minor league teammate deep. Remember, they came up together in the Arizona organization. He did not miss that offering.
Did this hit in the same spot as his line drive home run on Friday night off this garage door in right field?
Virtually.
I mean, but they're going to have to replace that thing after this series, as many dents as he's going to put into that thing. Oh, thank you for the hanging breaking pitch. A hanging slider. Cargo with that swing again does not miss.
Threw another slider there. Strike 1 on Arenado. Here's the pretty swing.
Everybody knew it. Just looking at the reaction at first base and Ryan Zimmerman. He just put his head down, started kicking the dirt.
24 home runs now for Cargo.
That's his 20th since June 1st.
How many guys in baseball in a 2-month span or a little bit more hit 20 home runs? This ball bounced up the middle and on through. Base hit for Nolan. That's his 5th hit of the series. He, along with Cargo, have been the hitting stars in Washington.
So much of the time early in the season was Cargo getting off that back leg too soon. Now he's not. I mean, he'll drive off it and then just the full extension. Palm up, palm down. And then the long follow through. He's some kind of locked in right now.
Yeah, and hitters, Jeff, you know this obviously better than anybody. They'll talk about if they're on time, they're going to hit the fastball, just toward the off gap. And so if they're out front just a smidgen on a slider or something, they'll still barrel it, but it'll be on the pull side, and that's exactly what happened with Cargo on that swing.
Yeah, and that's a great description because if you're on time, your head will stay more centered and you can see the ball longer. So if you're thinking of the off gap, then you get the changeup or the slider. Your bat's still traveling in the same path in the same zone. You'll just catch it out front.
1-2 on Paulson.
But that's a great sign for Cargo because you think about the pitch that he hit out on Friday night. It was a fastball and he hit it there. This one was a slider and he didn't get too far out front where he hooked it foul.
The fastball he hit from Storen, I believe, was at 95 the other night. Swung on a miss. Scherzer with his first strikeout, but the Rockies strike first with Carlos Gonzalez. Cinco with his 24th of the year. And it's 1-0 Colorado. .390 with 11 home runs, 25 driven in over his last 17 games. Pretty good. So here's Yunel Escobar. He'll lead things off again for Washington. He was in that spot on Friday night. Here's the rest of Matt Williams' lineup presented by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Anthony Rendon will bat second. Then it's Harper, Zimmerman, Worth 3 through 5. Ian Desmond starting to swing the bat. Wilson Ramos will bat 7th. Michael Taylor and Max Scherzer. Zimmerman an RBI in 6th straight. He drove in 2 yesterday. It'll be the 3rd start for Johan Flande this year, who began the year in New Britain and was pitching beautiful baseball at the AA level in the Eastern League. And they've got another call up to the Rockies.
And the 7 games in the 2 starts since the recall, he's 2-1 with the 2.18 ERA.
Flande checks both corners to make sure they're ready, and here we go. Bottom of the first, and that is in there for a strike at 91.
And that's what you're going to get from Johan. 91-mile-an-hour fastball. He'll throw the changeup and the slider, both about 84, 85.
Turned that pitch over, a little changeup. It's 1 ball and 1 strike on the native of Cuba, Yunel Escobar.
And you mentioned it getting yesterday off. They've had a little bug going through their clubhouse, and so that's why Escobar was a late scratch yesterday. Just couldn't go.
I guess he gutted it out on Friday because evidently he wasn't feeling well on Friday.
He was out around 11:30 today taking ground balls to see how he felt, if he could get going, and that turned out okay for him.
On the ground is short. This won't turn out okay for him. Reyes will throw him out. 1 out. Here are the Rockies with the gloves. Kyle Parker's back in there in left field. Charlie Blackmon in center. Cargo in right. Arenado and Reyes on the left side. Descalso getting the start at second base for LeMahieu. Ben Paulson at first, and Michael McHenry doing the catching. Kyle came up as an outfielder, a corner outfielder. He's learned first base the last couple of years as well. He made a great catch going into the stands a few days ago. Made a lot of the highlight shows.
I think it was top 3, maybe number 1 the other night.
SportsCenter have a number 1?
Yeah.
1 strike on Rendon. Anthony works out with Arenado in the offseason a little bit. And he hits it to his butt. Who comes up with that? Come on.
Nolan does. You've seen it enough.
Will you explain to people that that is really not easy?
Well, I'm not sure words can even describe how easy he makes this look, but it's not easy. So he knows he's going to, right here, he says, I'm in trouble. I'm going to get an in-between hop. Not really even looking the ball into the glove. It's just so many ground balls that you've taken that you put your glove there where you think it's going to hop. And it does.
That's why
he gets those the hops and those in-between ones, and then makes them look routine.
This is Reyes, 3 ground balls. Nice job by Johan Flande as Bryce Harper grounds out to end the first inning. Rockies in front on the Carlos Gonzalez home run. He's pretty good. Us to remind you that you can join in on the conversation on Toyota Talk. Send us thoughts, comments, photos, utilizing just about any social media platform you would like, but make sure you include the hashtag Toyota Talk and you'll get yourself involved. Michael McHenry is going to lead things off in the second inning for the Rockies against Max Scherzer, product of the University of Missouri. And that's sharply hit, but right at the third baseman, Yunel Escobar went out. What got Daniel Descalso will come up.
Daniel's just getting a day to relieve DJ LeMahieu. Nothing wrong, just Walt's trying to pick some spots here and there for the guys that are playing every day to get a little bit of a rest. And a chance for Daniel to get some at-bats, string some at-bats together.
Three home runs this year for Descalso. His career high is 5 2 years ago with St. Louis. Did you know, Jeff Houston, that Daniel Descalso went to the same high school as Eric Burns, another former Rocky?
I did not know that.
Neither did I. That's why I was asking you if you knew that.
You just read that right now, didn't you?
I did just come across that. Here's the 1-1. Inside 2-1 on Descalso. Mountain View, California, St. Francis High School. Good fastball by Scherzer. Just because of the arm angle, he's going to get natural run on that heater. And Scherzer with his second strikeout.
He dotted both of those fastballs in the same location. Same speed, same movement. It looks inviting to a hitter. You're geared up for it. You know a fastball's coming. You try to get on top of that fastball and it just doesn't happen. You never catch up to it.
Kyle Parker. And that's a strike according to Alan Porter. Allen working home plate this afternoon. Mark Ripperger's at first. Jeff Kellogg at second. Brian O'Nora at third. Here's the 0-1 on Parker. That was interesting. I don't know if we can look at that again. Gives you an idea how much sink he has on the fastball. Usually when a guy swings and misses on a fastball, he's underneath the fastball. He swung over the top of that. And a swinging strikeout. That was quick. As Scherzer fans, both Descalso and Parker to end the inning. 1-2-3, 1-0 Colorado though.
are looking at the Washington Monument there. It stands 535 feet tall, and it was part of a baseball stunt back in the early 1900s. Gabby Street was a catcher for the Washington Senators at the time. He stood 535 feet below the monument. They dropped a ball down. It took 13 attempts for him to catch it in his catcher's mitt. Witnesses that described it said it sounded like a pistol shot when it actually did hit the mitt. And Street said himself, his reaction is, even though my glove was about 3 to 4 inches thick, it benumbed my hand. So, Drew, I'm not going to have you try this anytime soon, but maybe next year you and Huey could really work on it, and the two of you could go pull off your own baseball stunt.
You know what? Huey and I, our families took a trip in the off-season to Paris, and we dropped one off the Eiffel Tower, and Huey, with the great hands that he displayed more than 10 years in the big leagues, caught it behind his back.
Oh, I did read about that. Was that on TMZ Sports? Is that where I found that?
Yeah, and it didn't take 13 tries either.
Of course it didn't.
But if I'm going to try that, if I'm going to actually do that, where if you can get up there, drop a ball.
You put a mask on.
Yeah, I put a mask on. But the second thing is, it was a $500 bet. The bet's got to be higher, though, for me to do that. I'm not, I mean, $500, that was back in 1908.
3-1 to Zimmerman's hit the deep center field. Blackman is going to watch this one sail out. Ryan Zimmerman ties it up with his 8th home run of the year.
And also the 7th straight game he has had an RBI. Just watched him in the last 3 games. It's kind of remarkable that he was hitting just .219 coming into the game, because every swing it seems like he's been taking in this series has been just a very good swing. Oh man, back to back.
3 ground balls in the first inning, and 2 long flies to begin the second for the Nationals against Johan Flande. Jason Worth follows up Ryan Zimmerman. It's 2-1. They've been waiting all year to get these guys healthy and swinging the bat like they've done in the past. Worth brought a 188 average into the ball game, just his 3rd home run of the year.
And Johan had only given up 2 home runs coming into this game, and now he's given up 2 more here in the last 2 batters.
Ian Desmond at the plate. He takes a strike. The first time this year the Nationals have gone back-to-back. And that goes through Nolan Arenado. Desmond digging towards second. Here's the throw from Parker. It's not going to get him. Two-base error, and there's nobody out. Runner at second base. 12th error on Arenado.
Well, even the best have a momentary lapse, and this was it for Nolan. Just had the glove up behind him too far, and he's made so many good plays in this series. And then that one just ate him up, went right through his legs. And Ian Desmond hustled out of the box. He just didn't assume that it was going to be, oh, an error and I'll stay at first. He kept trucking around to second. Well, there on Nolan's 65th error by the Rockies.
Wilson Ramos at the plate. Gotta watch Desmond taking off the third. Descalso now working back to the bag a little bit. You got a lefty on the hill. And at least initially, Desmond had a lead significant enough that probably would have been very easy for him to swipe third, especially with Ramos at the plate, a big right-handed hitter.
Make it hard for Michael to throw around him.
Pulled to third. Nolan's got this one, and he throws out Ramos. Jeff, you played some third base in the big leagues. Obviously, your natural position was shortstop. You just never can pick your hop at third.
It's not the same as playing in the middle. There's no doubt about it. In the middle, also, you're more upright, so you can track the ball to home as a second baseman or a shortstop, so you can see the ball released out of the hand of the pitcher. At third base, you don't have that luxury. So what you do is you'll see the pitcher. When he starts to deliver the ball, you have to then change your focus to the batter. So you can't see where the pitch is going as it's being delivered to the plate. That's why you can't pick your hops as well.
That's a great description of it, because in the middle, obviously, you can see the whole delivery.
Right. You can see everything. You can see the batter, how he starts to attack the ball. At third, it's one, and then almost like a cut to another shot, and that's the batter at the plate.
It's why errors-wise, third basemen typically are going to make, a fair number of errors, certainly more than you're going to see on the right side of an infield.
Well, because if you knock it down at third, sometimes you don't have that luxury of picking it up and throwing the guy out. Over at first base, you can still knock it down. You got the pitcher covering, you toss it to him.
Could be a hockey goalie over there.
Yeah.
And even once in a while, you'll see second baseman. DJ does this once in a while. Go to one knee, which you can't typically do on the left side.
No, with a shorter throw from second base, you can throw from your knee. Or you can Manny Trio it where you wait, and you just throw as hard as you can. Got to make it a game out of it for that base runner.
2 strikes on Taylor.
Yes,
he went. Alan Porter doesn't even ask for help. He said he went around. That's a big strikeout. First of the game for Flande, and that'll bring up Scherzer.
Handle Michael Taylor in this series. 0 for 4 last night, 0 for 4 on Friday night. He climbed the ladder up to the shoulders.
Scherzer can hit a little bit. That is sliced to right. It's out of play.
Well, as long as he doesn't do what Strasburg did last night with the 3 hits, it tied a Nats record.
How about
a pitcher?
How about 3 hits on 3 different types of pitches? And not only that, Strasburg didn't have any hits coming into the ball game.
So he got a hit on a slider, and then he got a hit on a fastball, and the last one was a changeup.
To mention that he struck out 12 in 7 innings. This is off of Flande. He's not going to be able to get anybody. What is it lately about Nationals pitchers?
Well, you can even go back to the Seattle series where they had broken 0 for 52 with a base hit.
Good point. That was Fidel
Nuno, and then you also had Walker with his first major league hit. And now 4 hits for the Nats pitchers in this series off the glove of Flande.
Which flips
the lineup.
Yeah, you had a great chance to get out of it just with the 2 solo home runs. Obviously, you can still get out of it, but now you have to face Yunel Escobar. He bounced to Reyes his first time. 310 average leads the Nationals.
Also has a 363 on base percentage.
Walks in there for a strike, 2-1. Short, and the flip from Reyes to Descalso ends the inning. Zimmerman and Worth went back-to-back to begin the frame, so the Nationals take a 2-1 lead as we go to the third. First inning against Max Scherzer, 9-1-2 for the Rockies. Time for our Coors Timeless moment. We go back just a day ago. Last night, Steven Strasburg became the third pitcher in big league history to strike out 12 or more in a game and also go 3 for 3 or better at the plate. The last to do it was Adam Wainwright in 2013 of the Cardinals. Before that, it happened twice with Camilo Pascual when he was playing for the Senators and the Twins. How about that?
Washington Senators,
who became the Twins.
Became the Twins and then also became the Texas Rangers.
So Flande will step up looking for his first hit against a guy who doesn't give up many. Just 110 hits allowed coming in 156 innings for Max Scherzer. Pitch is high, ball one. Scherzer last year in Detroit went 18-5 with a 3.15 ERA. Sports Illustrated did a piece on him. He was on the cover, and it said making a, I believe, it said making a $144 million gamble because he turned down. There's a pretty good bunt attempt, and it is going to be a base hit for Flande, his first of the year on a bunt.
There you go.
That was nicely executed.
Very nice.
Pretty savvy.
Well, he gets down that line okay, too. A little drop bunt down the third base line, checked up nicely. Running hard out of the box.
Look at that. You thought you were looking at a leadoff hitter. That baby, Johan.
I like it. The hand clap, the slap.
Boy, his brethren in the rotation are going to be all over him about that in a positive way.
All he's going to say is, hey, I got a hit off of Max Scherzer.
Right.
What have you done?
That's right. Here's Blackman. So Scherzer, remember that Sports Illustrated? Because he turned down $144 million from Detroit. And he went out and had a great year last year, and he got rewarded with a $200+ million deal over 7 years. here in Washington.
It's a pretty big gamble, but it paid off for Max.
Another bunt, stay fair. It's going to. Back-to-back bunt hits for the Rockies. I can't recall the last time.
Now you want to talk about a bunt that's perfectly executed. As Charlie bunts his ball, and the main thing for bunting too for a base hit is bunt then run. Too many times guys come out of the box and they're trying to run away towards first base and then lay the bunt down. He took his left foot towards the plate, laid the bunt down, and then pushed off that left foot to start running.
Perfectly executed. You know what? It's a great play right here.
Do it again. 3 in a row.
Swinging and carrying it into the stands is Reyes. Escobar slid up onto the grass expecting the bunt, and he moves back a step or two, but Jose showed, I think it was in yesterday's game, he'll bunt with 1 strike. And again, this is a situation where if he gets it down, at the very least, if it's decent, you have runners at second and third for Cargo and 1 out.
And that was the first inning yesterday after Charlie had led off with a double.
Escobar still on the grass, and there's the bunt attempt. Escobar's going to field it, and he's got 1 play. So the Rockies, you talk about small ball. Bunt, 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 second and third, 1 out in a 1-run game, and here comes Carlos Gonzalez.
And that's what you have to do when you're going up against somebody like a Max Scherzer. You just can't go up there swinging from the heels. And Flande started off with his bunt of his own. But this is not a bunt in the first. This is what you say, see you later. And he just peppers that back wall again.
You go back to 2007. These two guys played together in Double-A in Mobile, Alabama.
You're not going to get a fastball, I don't think. Well, he did challenge him.
At 96, so he'd been working about 93. All of a sudden, he dialed up a couple more clicks.
Well, I'm just thinking to last night with Strasburg, when with the same situation, they threw Cargo a first pitch curveball. And that's why I didn't think he would throw him a fastball. But maybe he said, well, he hit my slider out for a home run last time. Maybe he's not expecting it.
0-1. This ball's fouled off. And now Cargo's got to go in battle mode. Back-to-back 96-mile-an-hour fastballs, the 2 hardest pitches he's thrown. You have Arenado on deck, but Cargo knows this is one of those situations. Get it in play somehow, some way, and you should get the tying run home. Flande at third. Blackman's at second.
Anywhere but back to the pitcher.
Cargo at 97. That's what the great ones can do.
They can work at 94 miles an hour, but they have that 5th gear. They can go get some more if they need to. And Max Scherzer went and got it in this hole at bat. It was 96, 96, 97.
Arenado, a bouncer up the middle. He singled after the Gonzalez home run. 5 hits in the series so far for Nolan. Inside, no, it's on the inside corner. Brad Penny used to do this. Kurt Schilling used to do this.
Bartolo Colon in his younger days
would do this, absolutely.
Would do that.
All of a sudden, sticky situations against the elite hitters on the other club. They reach back and get something more. That's a changeup.
Well, you don't win 18 games last year. Win 21 games where you're the Cy Young Award winner in 2013. 16 and 15 in the years prior to that without having those extra pitches, with having that one more gear to change into.
Ramos and Scherzer want to get together. This is the other thing, you talk about power pitchers, and sometimes power pitchers, because they strike out a lot of guys and there's a lot of deep counts, don't necessarily work deep in games. What makes Scherzer unique, Jordan Zimmerman unique, and certainly the work of Strasburg yesterday, they're consistently 0-2, 1-2 on hitters. They don't walk people.
Scherzer at 22 walks this season. 22, that's it, in 156 innings coming into the game.
Almost 8.5 strikeouts to 1 walk ratio. 0-2. Well, that was 98 from Scherzer. Second and third, one out. The two best hitters in the Rockies line up at the plate, and he fanned them both. 2-1 Nationals. Toyota stores, let's go places. By Coors Banquet Beer, brewed in Golden, Colorado since 1873. And by Southwest Airlines, book your low fare now at southwest.com. We go to the bottom of the third. The Rockies trailing 2-1. They had a marvelous opportunity to, at the very least, get even. But then Max Scherzer just went to a different gear, striking out Carlos Gonzalez and Nolan Arenado, the last pitch of the inning at 98 miles an hour. Flande starts out Anthony Rendon with a strike.
It's like having a race car where everybody else only has 4 gears, and then you have that 5th.
Yeah, I mean, he may have dropped a couple gears there. I mean, he was working at 93, cruising along, and a couple of bunts and a sack bunt. All of a sudden, a little trouble. 97, 97, 98. Didn't like that it happened to the Rockies, but from a baseball purist standpoint, from a fan standpoint, that was impressive. On the outside corner, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Flande facing Rendon, Harper, and Zimmerman. 2, 3, and 4 in the Nationals lineup. Didn't get him to chase there. 3 and 2. Rendon fifth in the MVP voting in the National League last year. As you look at Bryce Harper on deck, he will be at the very top of that MVP voting this year in all likelihood. Rendon been on the DL twice this year. Arenado throws out Rendon for the second time in the game.
Close to about 13, 14 putouts for Nolan.
Yeah, assists.
Or assists, excuse me.
We were chatting about that yesterday, and that pattern's continued today. He has been busy. Hey, with every challenge called, the Subaru Eyesight Review will determine the outcome of love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. Rockies put the shift on again for Harper. It worked last time as Bryce hit one toward the middle of the diamond, but Jose Reyes was right there. Harper a couple more hits yesterday. Seems like every day is guaranteed to walk at least once.
My unofficial calculation, just going back into my book, 15 assists for Nolan.
Well, that's a lot in a 3-game series. 1 ball, 1 strike. This guy has a violent swing. And that's a hot shot that Descalso caught in the air.
And then Harper just tossed his bat up like a baton and just caught it.
That's how you get him out.
Yeah.
Do you remember any ball that he hasn't hit hard in this series?
I don't think so. And Daniel catches it. Then Bryce Harper just tossed the bat up, catch it, and walk back to the dugout.
That's where you have to remember to stay process oriented. There's nothing he did wrong. Got a pitch to hit, he squared it up. Just the result was an out.
That's where all that training, and so don't think about that. Just all I can control is how hard I hit the ball.
Ryan Zimmerman hit one over the center field wall last inning to tie the game at 1, and then Jason Worth followed it up very next pitch with a home run. That's a good spot. I guess Alan Porter thought it was a little in, so it's 2 balls and a strike on the former University of Virginia star. Now 7 straight games with a ribby for Zimmerman. He holds the Nats record. He's had an RBI in 9 straight. This ball's a long way to center field again, and this one's gone. I'll tell you what, we know the Nationals can pitch. They haven't hit much this year, but if they start getting this guy going, along with Harper, Worth, Desmond is swinging better, look out.
Well, since July 1st, they had come into today as having the worst batting average in the major leagues at just .222, but both times that Ryan Zimmerman has gotten his pitch, he hasn't missed it. The first at bat, it was 3-1. This time it was 2-1. And think about where both of those balls have gone. More to dead center on the first one, now it's to right center. That's when a hitter is starting to get locked in.
Yeah, and where that one finished, that's a strong man. He hit that thing 40, 50 feet out pretty much straight away. Worth is behind 0-2. Ryan Zimmerman now has 58 career RBIs in just 64 games against the Rockies in his career. 2 strikes on the former Philly Jason Worth, former Dodger as well. And that one just off the plate inside. The cutter. Remember Jim Tracy, when he managed Jason Worth, being very intrigued about his ability. Big man who could run, hit with power.
Also has some plate discipline. See a lot of plate there, a lot of pitches per at bat.
Yep. And that's line to center field. Fifth hit for the Nationals. And that'll bring up Ian Desmond, who reached on a 2-base error by Nolan Arenado. Desmond still lives in his hometown of Sarasota. '84th overall pick in the '04 draft. Decided to sign. Was going to play at South Florida collegiately. 2 balls, no strikes.
If your spring training's been in Florida the whole time, why not live down there? That's where you grew up.
Plus, when he gets back there, they've turned the humidity down a little bit. 3-0. Last 3 years, Desmond has produced a minimum of 20 home runs. 24 last year, 20 in 2013, 25 a career best in 2012. Got a dozen right now.
Be careful on this 3-0 count.
He swung at a 3-0 pitch yesterday. Swings at that one, and he hits it off the end of the bat. Descalso has it. That'll end the inning. Ryan Zimmerman goes deep for the second time in the ballgame. All the runs, solo home runs. 3 for the Washington Nationals, 1 for the Rockies. Data strong fan, and we'll try to get you into an upcoming game broadcast. It's brought to you by T-Mobile. Ryan Zimmerman, the former Gold Glove third baseman, he had some shoulder issues, some issues overall throwing the ball across the diamond. They moved him over to first base. For a long time, when he thought about first base here, he thought of Adam LaRoche. He's moved on, and so Zimmerman now on the other corner. He's hit a couple of solo home runs. It's 3-1 Washington. Ben Paulson swings and misses. Ben struck out his first time. He's trying to end a string of 5 straight strikeouts in this series. But you know what? When you're facing the likes of Jordan Zimmerman, Steven Strasburg, and this cat, Max Scherzer, back to back to back, there's going to be a bunch of strikeouts.
12 by Strasburg last night, just 6 by Zimmerman. But it is. I mean, that's kind of how their staff is built. You're going to see some of those strikeouts in New York.
Rocky struck out 15 times yesterday. This is a pop-up to shallow left. Desmond's called off. Worth makes the catch. You and I both talked to a number of guys who faced Strasburg yesterday, and they all sang his praises. You have to. I mean, you got to tip your cap. He's working at 97 with a ridiculous curveball in the low to mid 80s, and then that changeup also 3+ pitches. But you know what name came up for a couple of guys also? Blake Trinan. They said his stuff was ridiculous. He had that 98-mile-an-hour sinker he threw just one inning. Brandon Barnes in particular said. Yeah. Because as good as Strasburg was, Trinan for an inning was right there also.
So they bring that cat out of the bullpen and say, here's 98, followed up by some just pure power. And here you go.
McHenry hits the fly ball to center. And again, look at the fastball velocity. I know velocity is by far not everything. You're talking about movement and location. But again, he's back to work at 93 or so.
But there is a difference. You know, you go from 90 to 93 or 94 and then jump above that. It kind of goes up exponentially. Then when he hits 98, it seems like 108 to you.
Descalso, a good swing. This ball's driven to deep center field, and it is gone. Is that gone? I believe it is. Home run, Daniel Descalso, is 4th of the year. It's a battle of solo home runs this afternoon in our nation's capital. And the Rockies climb back within a run. Daniel Descalso taking Scherzer deep as Cargo did earlier.
3 out of the 4 home runs have been hit in this same small area in right center field. And this just gets over that high wall off the railing in that front row.
Good work by Jeff Kellogg, the crew chief, second base umpire. That's his call, and Jeff hustled out there to get as good a look as he could. There's the 0-1 to Kyle Parker.
This will give you the look of Jeff Kellogg and his hustle to get out off the top of that railing and bounce back into the field of play, but it was gone.
One and 2 on Parker.
Jeff Kellogg's the crew chief.
Gets him with a fastball again. Second time he has struck out Parker. 6 strikeouts in the game, but the Rockies are right there against the Nationals, and Max Scherzer, Daniel Descalso's home run makes it a 1-run game once again, middle of 4th. Abe is just kicking everybody's butt. And wait a second, how many presidents we have running now? I thought it used to be 4. They add to the race?
A lot of presidents.
Calvin Coolidge is now in the race, I've been told.
He won that. Abe just won that straight up. It was an honest race.
With all due respect to the memory of Calvin Coolidge, how arbitrary is that? You know, you understand Lincoln. You certainly understand Thomas Jefferson and the father of our country, George Washington. You understand to a certain degree Teddy Roosevelt, though Teddy has not been much of a factor through the years, as we described yesterday. Wilson Ramos at the plate 0-2.
Well, Drew, as I told you yesterday, Coolidge clearly an entrant because he has such a tight-up baseball, right? He was the first president to attend a World Series game and throw out the first pitch at one of those. And if you're an ornament collector, he happens to be the White House Ornament of the Year. So a little cross-promotion there.
Who was the 6th guy, or was that an imposter?
The 6th guy is Coolidge. Taft was added a few years ago, I think. Yeah.
That's arbitrary to me also.
Yeah, so that's 6 presidents. Can you name all the presidents, by the way?
Absolutely, in order, backwards.
You can?
Sure.
Go ahead. Let's hear it.
President Obama.
Here, let me do it for you. I'll do it in 10 seconds or less, okay?
Where are you looking?
Are you ready?
I want your eyeballs straight ahead.
Okay. You ready?
Don't move those eyes.
Okay, on your mark, get set, go. Washington, Adams, Jefferson, Madison, Monroe, Adams, Jackson, Van Buren, Harrison, Tyler, Polk, Taylor, Fillmore, Pierce, Buchanan, Lincoln, Johnson, Grant, Hayes, Garfield, Arthur, Cleveland, Harrison, Cleveland, McKinley, Roosevelt, Taft, Wilson, Harding, Coolidge, Hoover, Roosevelt, Truman, Eisenhower, Kennedy, Johnson, Nixon, Ford, Carter, Reagan, Bush, Clinton, Bush, Obama.
Boom.
Was that 10 seconds-ish? I can't do it backwards, so don't ask me to do it backwards.
When on earth did you pull that trick off?
Oh, you know, we have so much time on the road, so I've just really been studying up for this trip.
2 and 2 on
sixth grade social studies? Well, when was it?
Yes, it was in the 5th grade, I believe, and we learned it to Jingle Bells. The song, like Washington, Adams, Jefferson, Madison, Monroe. So that's how we learned it, and then over the course of time, if you have enough time on your hands, like I clearly do.
It sounded more like Eminem. It was more like a rap now.
It is a rap now. Thank you, Drew. I've always aspired to be a rapper of the Presidents of the United States.
I don't care how you learned it. That was impressive.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. I just thought I'd.
Somebody said you left out Benjamin Harrison, but we'd have to hear it again.
That's not true. I can do it again, but we'll get back to baseball.
Jenny, we're going to do VPs in the 6th inning, so get ready.
Okay, I'll go study.
3-2 on Ramos, and a ground ball to who else? Nolan Arenado. Wear out a glove in this series. He's made a bunch of plays with his bare hand also.
Well, fans looking to come out to a game, well, there's always great Rockies ticket deals available. Bookmark Rockies.com/specials and check back all season long.
Michael Taylor, a strikeout in the 2nd inning. A lone strikeout for Johan Flanda. Johan's doing his thing, Jeff. He's hanging in there. He's giving his team a chance. He's given up 3 solo home runs. 2 to Ryan Zimmerman, 1 to Jason Worth.
And even after the error that Nolan had in the 2nd inning, runner on second base, he doesn't allow that run to score.
He changes speeds well.
Well, I think you said it in our open. He competes.
He competes. He's going to throw strikes.
He doesn't have he has his fastball is right at the major league average. Off-speed pitches, you know, or probably average to maybe slightly below. But there's something to be said for attacking the strike zone. Something to be said for saying, okay, I'm going to go after you with the stuff I have, and it's probably not going to last 7 or 8 innings. But for those 5 innings that I'm out there, I'm going to give you all I have.
He's in a 1-run game against Max Scherzer. To Nolan Arenado. Two outs. He's got 5 assists today. Would have had a 6th had he fielded that ground ball by Ian Desmond. He had 7 yesterday. The Rockies' record is 9. Was it Vinny? I'm looking at Dougie now. Oh, it was Cirillo. That's right. It was Jeff Cirillo. Scherzer with a base hit. An infield hit. His first AB. And a strong inning, 1-2-3 for Yohan Flande. So we'll go to the 5th inning. The Rockies trailing 3-2. Smart, safe, and fun to drive. Ford Escape. Go further. By Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. Busy day around the Jefferson Memorial. You ever take one of those boats out there?
No, I haven't.
I did a bunch of years ago when the family was out. Fun. We've had a most pleasant weekend in Washington. The humidity's been down. Temperature today in the upper 80s. Yohan Flande, a bunt single in the 3rd inning. Rockies had an opportunity to score there. They had 2 straight bunt hits. Blackman followed up with a bunt single, and then Reyes laid down a sac bunt. So Yunel Escobar's not taking any chances. He's about 80 feet away. Lay down another one.
I think you might have caught him by surprise the first time, not the second time.
Take it with you this time.
Okay.
Think he has that in the bag of tricks?
I don't think so.
2-1.
But if he does, now would be a good time to pull it out. It becomes a foot race.
Told you he's got that.
Well, you're right on the call, just not the execution.
Wanted it in the air, and Zimmerman had an easy play. Who wants tacos? When the Rockies score 7+, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day. Do it between 4 and 6 to receive your Rockies taco special at Masa Taco Bell. So Blackman with the bunt single is 1 for 2. Charlie, who borrowed Spilly's number, comes up with a 294 average.
No, Spilly, we're going to get a text from Spilly here any minute now.
Trying to think of something witty to say. Changeup's in there for a strike. It's 0-1. Outside. A couple of doubles yesterday for Charlie. The Rockies limited to 3 hits yesterday. It's the second time they've been limited to 3 hits this year. May 17th in Dodger Stadium, they had only 3 hits. Extra base hits leading off this year. Blackman with 42. Granderson, who we'll see this week, with 40. And then Dex has 33. Did you see that Jock Peterson has only 26 extra base hits? That's weird because he's got that many home runs. 21 home runs. Two outs. Jose Reyes will come up.
Well, he does strike out a lot.
He moved in the lineup. I mean, we haven't seen the Dodgers in a while, but last time we saw him, he'd been leading off. That would be that he had only 5 doubles or triples. That didn't seem right. He's down the left field line. Worth thinks he has a play, and it would have been a terrific play, similar to the one down the right field line that Bryce Harper made yesterday, where he had to go into a power slide right near the fence.
The difference was yesterday that Harper had the better angle on it because he was going towards his glove side. Worth had to catch it reaching across his body, had to go off the edge of his glove.
Good job by Jose not to swing at that slider in the dirt.
When Jose, he really spreads out. He just has the feet so far apart that he's just thinking, use the hands. Just try to be short to the baseball.
Changeup, it gets away, and Ramos not going to get Reyes. See if the Rockies can take advantage with Cargo coming up. Either be a strikeout wild pitch or a strikeout pass ball.
I think it'd be a wild pitch because it hit the dirt in front of Ramos, but he tried to backhand it instead of dropping down, and it will go down as a strikeout wild pitch.
Cargo round 3 against Max Scherzer. He won round 1 with a home run off the back wall of the Nationals bullpen. Round 2 went to Scherzer. He struck him out on a 97-mile-an-hour fastball up and away. That's the softest throw to first base I've seen all year. He had the jump turn and the lob.
The lob, yeah.
Through the fastball. You saw the projections there that it's going to be a fastball 50% of the time. It wasn't. Now it goes up when it's 1-0.
Those are the probabilities that hitters are thinking of too when they're standing in the box.
There goes Reyes, and he is out. Good throw from Ramos, who cuts it down trying to steal second. That's how the top of the 5th will end. The Rockies trailing the Nationals at Nationals Park 3-2. Go home run. Then Daniel Descalso with the Rockies down 3-1 hit a home run. Ryan Zimmerman 2 solo home runs. Jason Worth the solo home run. So all the runs you get the picture on solo home runs. Max Scherzer has struck out 7 in 5 innings. But hanging in there has been Johan Flande. He gets the top of the order, and this has always been key for Johan and really for any starting pitcher. How they do the third time through the lineup. That's a good start. Yunel Escobar on a comebacker. We'll bring up the second baseman this afternoon, Anthony Rendon.
Very economical with his pitches. It's 66, 40 of them for strikes, just 26 balls for Johan.
Rendon takes a changeup for a strike. See a lot of guys swinging early in counts, and from the Rockies standpoint, and that's been the case all year against Scherzer, guys swing at the first pitch almost 40% of the time. With Scherzer, he's not a guy you want to go deep with.
But he has the third highest strike percentage in baseball. So is it affordable to, I mean, do you really want to fall behind?
You don't want to fall behind him. You know he's going to be around the zone. And the same thing with Flande, though obviously Flande's stuff is not nearly the stuff that Max Scherzer presents. But if you're Washington, you know that this guy's a strike thrower. And that's why you're seeing a lot of guys move the baseball, move to the baseball with the bat early in counts. 2 outs as Reyes throws out Rendon. And that'll bring up Bryce Harper.
The first 10,000 fans through the gates on Saturday, August 15th, will receive a lunch bag courtesy of King Soopers. Get your tickets to this game against the San Diego Padres today. Saturday, August 15th, the lunch bag day.
Harper's hitting 8 straight to the tune of a .423 average. And that's going to sneak through the left side as the Rockies had the shift on. So Bryce Harper now has hit in 9 straight.
I said I tried to hit through the shift my first 2 at bats. I had a ground ball, then I was robbed on the line drive. Well, I'll just pull my hands in closer to my body. When you do that, it keeps the barrel behind and it kind of drags it through the zone, and that's how he was able to hit it to that shortstop vacated area.
And you got Ryan Zimmerman, who's hit 2 home runs against Flande, and Walt Weiss feels like, you know what, I don't want to see him face Johan a 3rd time. So with 2 outs in the 5th, Flande walks off. Scott Oberg comes on. of the fifth just single with Ryan Zimmerman, who hit 2 long home runs against Johan Flande coming up. Walt Weiss elects to go to the right-hander Scott Oberg to try to close out the inning.
Scott was the winner on Friday night. He moved to 3-2 on the season, threw an inning in that ball game, had a couple strikeouts, did have 2 walks after getting 2 quick outs. And now he's in a count going up against a guy, or a situation going up against a guy that already has 2 home runs today.
Zimmerman rips this to third, but it's handled by Arenado. 1 pitch, and Oberg gets out of it. So Harper's left aboard. We'll go to the 6th inning. It's a 1-run game. Cargo will lead it off. New Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack with melted herb butter. By Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. By Saratoga Casino, so new, so you. And by Tavern Downtown. Visit Tavern Downtown after Rockies home games and get 2-for-1 draft beers with your same-day ticket. Beautiful afternoon in our nation's capital. The Rockies trailing the Nationals 3-2. Drew Goodman, Jeff Houston, Jenny Cavnar. Max Scherzer in the 6th inning will see Carlos Gonzalez again. He was at the plate when Jose Reyes was cut down trying to steal to conclude the top of the 5th inning. Cargo hit his 24th home run off Scherzer in the 1st inning. And this ball's pulled foul. An off-speed pitch. It's 0-1. And Cargo sprays that pitch foul, this time down the left field line. So it's 0-2 on Carlos. He spent the day on, part of the day on Thursday, an off day here at the White House.
That's what's fun about coming to D.C., especially if you have an off day, to be able to see some of the sights and monuments. I know you and I always talk about it. This is one of our highlights of the year, coming back to D.C.
I love being in Washington. Here's the 1-2. And this ball's driven high and deep right center field. Take a good look. You won't see this one for long. Cargo has tied it up. His 2nd of the day. 25th of the season. on a 1-2 pitch. 6 solo home runs this afternoon. 4th multi-home run game of the season for Cargo.
Trying to figure out which one was hit harder, that first one or this fastball. This was supposed to be a sinking fastball away from him. It wasn't. And it lands into the glove of somebody reaching over in the upper deck in right center field and making a good catch. Break out that smile. Watch the fan in the front row just reach over and catch it.
Man, that was hit really far. Really hard. He's fun to watch. 14th time in his career that he's popped at least 2 in a game. 0-2 on Nolan. Sliders low, 1-2.
We've seen guys hot for a week, 2 weeks, even a month. We've seen that before, but not somebody like he's been for 2+ months now.
Nolan's got 1 out. That's the 8th strikeout for Max Scherzer. Don't get tired of looking at Cargo hit the ball a mile.
And that was just the finish where he stands there. And
did you see on the screen as he hit it out on the scoreboard, it flashed up 97. That's what he turned around. A 97-mile-an-hour fastball. This ball's well hit by Paulson straight away. Taylor is not going to be able to catch it. And Ben in a second with a double. So the Rockies have the go-ahead run in scoring position with 1 out.
Michael Taylor in center field didn't think Ben got this as well as he did for his 14th double this season. He's even looking up at the big board trying to figure it out, because he didn't take off in a dead sprint right away to this. Then he realized, I'm in trouble now. I'll try to jump, but it's going to be over my head by a good 5-6 feet. Cargo hit that ball out of a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. That's what he was struck out on in his second at bat.
And Henry takes a strike. It's 0-2. After that Paulson double, the Rockies 5 through 8 hitters in the series, 4 for 37. Now yesterday 5 through 8 was 0 for 12 with 9 strikeouts. And Henry keeps the AB alive. So Cargo was the player of the month in July, right?
Yes.
So far in August he's hitting .333 with 4 home runs, 9 RBIs in 8 games.
So what you're saying, he might be a leading candidate for the player of the month of August?
Well, there's a lot of time left, but he certainly, if you were to judge so far, he would be prominently mentioned. And as we always say with him, it's not just home runs, it's when he hits them and where the Rockies are in the game. It's almost always a huge blow.
And it's right around 50%, 49% of his home runs are when the Rockies are either down by a run, even, or up by a run. So tight ball games. And he's coming through with the clutch hits.
He gave him a 1-0 lead today against one of the game's great pitchers in Scherzer. He just tied it up here in the 6th inning with a home run. The grand slam in the 8th inning on Friday when the Rockies were down 4-1. Strikes out McHenry at 96, his 9th strikeout, and now it'll be left to Descalso, who has a home run.
You can still follow the Rockies with MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live Rockies baseball. At Bat is up to the minute with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, StatCast, and more. Get MLB.com at Bat now. I think this is a little bit of a meeting. You're saying, okay, you got Descalso who hit a home run against you last time, and then Kyle Parker, the right-hander, next. What do you want to do? Flash back to that 4th inning in this home run by Daniel. Whenever Max has made a mistake, the Rockies have made him pay in a big-time way. 4th home run, one shy of his career high for Daniel.
So here we go. Descalso takes way outside. Ball 1. Ben Paulson, a double deep center field at second base in a 3-3 ball game. On deck is Parker. Now Scherzer has struck him out twice. That may have been part of the conversation with first base open.
Yeah, and that's why they went out there.
And now they're going to go ahead and walk Daniel. Rockies can't counter with a left-handed bat. Stubbs and Barnes, the extra outfielders. So Parker take what he learned in those first 2 at-bats and try to apply it here with 2 men aboard.
What you learn is I've got to get started sooner.
He was tardy, wasn't he?
Yes. Just get my foot down and get started sooner. Don't swing harder.
This ball pulled to left, base hit, just like that. Here comes Paulson, ball dropped by Worth. Rockies take the lead, Descalso to third. Kyle Parker made the adjustment, and the Rockies lead it 4-3 in the 6th.
And he did exactly what I was talking about. You have to start your preparation sooner when somebody has overpowered you your first 2 at-bats. If you get that foot down, my hands are going to follow. Well, that foot got in the ground. See how quickly it did? It helps that it was a slider. But that foot's there, and now the bat can catch up. You're not playing catch-up with the swing. You also have to say, hey, thank you for throwing me a slider, too. But on the positive side, Kyle didn't miss it.
So Kyle Parker with a huge RBI. And now the Rockies will go to their bench. Brandon Barnes will pinch hit for Scott Oberg. Rafael Betancourt throwing. He'll be next for the Rockies. They're up 4-3. It's a slider swung on and missed. You know, Scherzer, you don't ever want to question a guy who's as good as Scherzer. But he really had overwhelmed Kyle Parker with fastballs the first 2 at-bats. A little surprised that he threw a first pitch slider.
A little overthinking in my estimation. But as I said, give credit to Kyle that he hit the ball.
Absolutely.
I mean, you're gonna throw it. You're gonna do that for me. Then I'm gonna hit it, and I drive in a run with 2 outs, and then put your club ahead 4-3. Just such a difference in Kyle from last year to this year, seeing where he is in the growth of his game.
Look for Barnes to stay in the game after this at bat and into the strikeout, but the Rockies have taken the lead. Cargo ties it up with his 2nd home run of the day against Max Scherzer, and then Kyle Parker brings in the go-ahead run. Ben Paulson. 4-3 Rockies, middle of 6 on a Sunday in Washington. strong fan photo. This is a strong photo. Get as many people in there with purple on as you can, all fired up for a Rockies victory. That's our Data Strong fan photo of the game. Again, presented each day by T-Mobile. So Rafael Betancourt comes on for the 40th time this year. Elbow feels great. In fact, Rafi told us the other day that his elbow feels better now after Tommy John surgery and all the long rehab than it did for about 3 years prior to him blowing out. He's dealing with discomfort periodically. He said he feels great. More often than not, we're seeing him work 91, 92 again.
And it's starting to stay consistently at that speed. You know, early in the year it was 89, maybe 90, but now it's up there. But after you go through Tommy John, you do all the diligence, the rehab, and Rafi was good about it before he was hurt. It's just been so many throws, so many years of wear and tear on that elbow that he kind of probably felt like, well, this is my normal. And now after having the elbow fixed, he says, whoa, this is the new normal. Feeling great.
So much so, I asked him the other day, I said, you're 40 now, you want to play again? He goes, yeah, absolutely, because my family wants me to. They're behind me. He said, I feel, he reiterated how good he feels. So another 40-year-old's not ready to shut it down, nor should he, the way he's been throwing the baseball. Jason Worth, a home run and a single, will be first up in the bottom of the 6th inning. Rockies up 4-3. And that's on the outside corner for a strike. Jason Worth looking out there. Tell he didn't like the call. It would have been a little bit outside. Worth with a home run in the 2nd inning after Zimmerman hit a home run. First time the Nats have gone back-to-back all year.
Not quite the buzz now in the stadium in the bottom of the 6th inning as there was early in the game. Another home run. You get the RBI with 2 outs. Sucked a little bit of the life out of this ballpark.
Curveball in it. Was low, 2-1. Patient hitter. Being Desmond on deck.
He leads all active players with career pitches per plate appearance at 4.39.
Just beneath the knees, a rare walk issued by Betancourt. Bring up Desmond.
Pitches 4 and 5 were just below the knee. Jason Worth's banking on Alan Porter not calling the last one to strike. But now for Rafi, he's got to be careful with Worth at first base. He can take off and run. You think about Jason Worth, big guy. Oh no, well, he's successful in his career 87% of the time in stolen bases. When you're thinking 75 is a great number.
It's 1-0. But Worth with that 87.2%, that's the 2nd best rate among active players. It's 2-0. Rafi's missed on 6 of 7 pitches. The pitch that was called a strike probably was not either. There's a Reyes coming in. This is really unusual. 3-0.
Well, to be missing like he has in these 3 pitches to Desmond.
Rafi is such a student of the game. Studies scouting reports. A great memory. He knows Desmond is not a guy you can throw a cookie to 3-0. We've already seen him swing twice in that situation. He takes here. And it's 3-1. Grounded out on a 3-0 pitch in his last at bat, in fact.
I'm sure that's why he took 3-0, because he squibbed one off the end of his bat to second base. But now he'll turn it loose.
Big swing and a miss, 3-2. This is Ramos on deck.
Williams is a pretty aggressive manager. You do have a guy that strikes out a lot, and he and Desmond, in fact, leads their ball club in strikeouts. But I still think they'll take off at first with Jason Worth.
Not going. Swung on and missed.
Maybe that's what he was afraid of. Normally he's aggressive. He'll put guys in motion 3-1, 3-2.
Good strikeout there at Desmond as Betancourt comes all the way back after being behind 3-0.
Four-seam fastball. Ian Desmond underneath.
Ramos twice is grounded to third. Big open stance. He's got a pull swing. Watch Worth that time. Worth had his hands dropped in a position where far more likely that.
I like your thinking. I like what you're watching. Yeah, the first 3 or 4 pitches, he had him right on his knees. That time he had him in the middle, more like how you would have a wide receiver have his hands.
And it's 0-2.
Well, he's at least giving the appearance that he might run. That puts everybody on higher alert.
Two strikes on Ramos. Worth takes off, and this ball is pop foul out of play. An awkward jump, wasn't it?
It was. He didn't have the timing. I don't think it kind of caught him off guard or how quickly Rafi went to home. He never looked over his shoulder. If he takes off again and that ball's hit in the air, that's when you try to deke him at second base and shortstop. You act like it's a double play ball, and then you hope he goes sliding into second.
Not going, and this is in the air to deep center field. Way back, Blackman is going to have to play it off the wall, and Worth will get a stop sign. It turns into about a 400-foot single for Ramos, first and third. Did Wilson think that was out? Because I don't know why he's not at second base. I know he's not the fastest guy in the ballpark, but
that ball drifted back to the middle of the plate. Maybe he must have thought it was out because it came within about a foot of going out. Worth had to hold up at second base.
Good deke by Charlie.
That was a very good one. That was the old, I remember Larry Walker doing that on that ball in right field. He'd act like he was going to catch it as it'd go off the wall behind him.
Danny Espinosa in the on-deck circle for Scherzer. At the plate right now is the fleet Michael Taylor. It's actually Clint Robinson, not Espinosa. Watch Ramos now. He got just a single out of it. He thought he hit it out. He got running.
He's jogging out of the box.
And you know what? That's a huge play.
That is.
He should be standing on second. He represents the go-ahead run for Washington.
And a chance for a double play to get out of the inning.
Ball strike on the swing. It's 0-2. Taylor 5 for his last 36.
So many areas you can pitch to this young man now. You can go up, climb the ladder. You can go break it, pitch down and away from him. If he does hit it on the ground, you got to get rid of it quickly because he has good speed. He's only grounded into one double play. 319 at bats.
That's why right now Rafi's hunting that strikeout. 1-2. Rafael is average right at a strikeout per inning pitched. Two on, one out. Worth's at third. He walked, went to third on the base hit by Ramos off the top of the wall in right center field. Rockies up 4-3, bottom of 6. To third, and they'll come home with it, and it hit Worth. I like the idea by Nolan. We've seen him do it before. There's no way they're going to turn 2 on that ball. Unfortunately, the angle of the throw squared up Jason Worth, and it's a tie ball game. First and second, still one out.
Because he had to go so far to the line to get this ball. His momentum carried him over into foul territory. And Jason Worth is running right down the line. There's no good angle to try to throw that for Nolan.
Clint Robinson is the pinch hitter.
But I'm with you, Drew. That was the right play. That was his only option, is to try to get that runner.
Ball, that's a strike. Especially given who it is. I mean, Nolan has the ability to do that. We've seen him do it. They're going to call that a fielder's choice E5.
Boy, I mean,
that's a tough error, because
tough error.
You don't have to attach an error to that.
No,
you could just call it a straight fielder's choice and then get an out. It is an RBI for Taylor.
Well, you know he can't go all the way across the diamond. Right here, and then do you see what Work did? You know, there's really no rules as far as where you run in the baseline like there is at first base. He had started on the outside, and then he took a step inside the line. Just watch Jason Worth as he's coming down the line. You know, Nolan, he gets it. He thinks he has a small window to whip that ball through. You're going across your body. You're trying to make a throw around a base runner, but see where Jason Worth is on the grass? If he stayed on the outside of the line, that's a good throw. It's right there.
And they take the error away now, which is, I think, the right call. It's a straight fielder's choice if you score with us at home. RBI for Michael Taylor. First and second. Still one out. 2-2 on Clint Robinson. Swung on and missed. Second strikeout of the inning for Betancourt. Yesterday, the Rockies had Eddie Butler walk 4 guys. Saw him walk 4 guys, and 3 of them scored. Flande did not walk anybody. Betancourt rarely walks people, but he walked Worth, and that run scored.
Well, Christian Friedrich also walked a couple batters yesterday. One of those guys came around to score.
That's 5 in the last 2 days. Logan throwing Yunel Escobar with 2 outs. 0 for 3. A couple of ground balls to short and a comebacker. Ramos at second. Michael Taylor is at first. This is there, 2-1.
Yeah, just now 29 pitches this inning for Rafael.
Nationals after the ball game have a long flight. They'll head to Los Angeles, open up a 3-game set against the Dodgers, and then head up north to San Francisco. They'll play the Giants 4 times at AT&T before returning home.
Brett Anderson tomorrow, and then they kind of feel the Rockies pain. They'll get Greinke on Tuesday, Clayton Kershaw on Wednesday.
Two and 2. So the book's closed on Scherzer. He'll get a no decision. He goes 6 innings, allows 4 runs on 8 hits. The one walk was intentional, and he struck out 10.
37th time in his career he's had, or 32nd, excuse me, 10 or more strikeouts.
A real good job by that Rockies offense, producing 4 runs on 8 hits in 6 innings against Scherzer. Swung on and missed. Betancourt, after a lengthy inning, strikes out Escobar. He strikes out the side, but he did give up a run. So it's 4-4 as we go to the 7th.
Carlos Gonzalez. As for Charlie Blackmon, he has a bunt single so far in this game. He had 2 doubles yesterday against Steven Strasburg, just 2 of the 3 hits that the Rockies could muster up. But it's way more than what shows up in the box score under Charlie's line. He has an important role in this team as the leadoff hitter. Just ask the guy in the hole, and Carlos Gonzalez.
Charlie's a really smart hitter. He understands what his role is. You know, he's stealing a lot of bases. You know, one of the best in the business right now, and you know that's what he's trying to do. He wants to be on base for us. He wants to score runs, and you know every once in a while hit it over the fence. So you know nothing more you can ask for Charlie. You know he's a great player, a special player, and you know I believe that he's going to continue to get better.
Well, early in the game, Charlie Blackmon sees a ton of pitches. We know we've documented all the work he does outside the lines and in the clubhouse in terms of the film study he does. When he's on the base path, he's aggressive. In situations like this, he's going to be aggressive. And, of course, he leads the National League, as you guys mentioned earlier, in extra base hits with 42. Now would be a great time to put a runner in scoring position and set the stage for Reyes and Carlos Gonzalez.
Yeah, and Jenny's going to get Felipe Rivera, who he faced on Friday night. And he hit a fly ball to center field that ended the ball game. Rivera pitched the 9th inning on Friday.
That's where it helps when you
actually that didn't end the ball game. The Rockies won the ball game, but that was at the top of the 9th that he faced
last out of
Blackmon. Last out of the top of the 9th, and correct that.
But that's where it helps after facing Rivera on Friday night to get another look at him right now. Lefty's hitting near 195 off him, but he's a kind of a slinging type of fastball at 95. A lot of long arms and legs coming at you, tough to pick up the baseball.
2-1 on Blackmon. And Charlie hits this to deep center field. How much did he get? The leap and the catch at the top of the wall by Taylor. I don't know if it would have been gone. It would have been close.
Well, if it's not gone, it's off the ball and a chance for maybe a double or a triple. Let's see the athleticism from Michael Taylor.
How much better are Blackmon's at bats left on left of late?
Just so much better. You don't see some of the swings you saw 2 or 3 years ago, but that's just getting better as a ball player.
Outside on Jose Reyes. Jose 0 for 2 and a sac bunt. Cargo on deck.
That's all you can do, Charlie. Hit it hard like that. The kid made a good play on you.
1-1 on Reyes. Still getting his feet underneath him in a Rockies uniform. To right field, Bryce Harper territory. He's battling sun. He can't see it. And Reyes is going to end up at second base. Bryce Harper could not see the baseball. It was right in the sun. And the Rockies catch a huge break. Has to be scored a double.
You're thinking he's camped underneath it. He's got it, puts the glove up, tried to get to the side. He has glasses on.
You've been in that situation.
Yeah,
anybody who's played baseball, it's a sick feeling when the ball gets in that sun. It's an unnerving feeling. You don't know where it's going to come down.
Well, just think about anybody that's looked directly in the sun, how that just momentarily freezes you.
So here's Cargo against Rivera. 2 home runs in the game for Cargo against Max Scherzer. Go ahead run at second. Called strike 1. Here's the home run in the first. This was pulled off the back wall of the bullpen.
And that was on a slider from Scherzer. So Scherzer struck him out on a fastball. His second at bat, third at bat, tried to sneak it by him against it. I'm not playing that game. I'll take you out.
Yep, second deck. Fastball right back at Rivera. Well, let's see if, looking at their bullpen, guys walking around, but yeah, so Matt Williams is going to go and get Rivera. I thought he'd go to a right-hander. With Nolan coming up. So with 2 outs, Reyes at second base. Washington will make a change. Solo home runs in the game. Ryan Zimmerman with a pair of solo home runs. Daniel Descalso's gone deep. We're 4-4 with 2 outs in the 7th inning. Jose Reyes is at second base. Nolan Arenado is going to face Casey Jansen. Gorgeous Sunday afternoon. So nice, in fact, that the Rockies caught a break they're trying to take advantage of. With 1 out, Reyes hit a routine high fly ball to right field. And Bryce Harper went to get underneath the ball and lost it in the sun. That's why Reyes is at second. A double on the ball lost in the sun. And Jansen is on against Arenado. Nolan a base hit in the first. A couple of strikeouts since then against Max Scherzer.
Well, and that's why they had to bring Jansen in. They didn't want the left-hander to face Nolan. Casey Jansen a whip below 1. Former closer in Toronto. Fastball, cutter, curveball, slider, changeup.
Outside, a ball and a strike. Great bounce back effort by the Rockies today offensively. You may recall that after Nolan hit that home run against Steven Strasburg, the last 17 hitters were retired by the Nationals. And today they've produced 9 hits, 4 runs. And this is a high pop-up on the left side. Desmond Rendon, I tell you what, there was some confusion. Excuse me, Escobar. There seemed to be some confusion for a moment before Desmond made the catch to close the inning. So it's stretch time in Washington. The Rockies 4, the Nationals 4, and we'll stick around for a rendition of God Bless America. Enjoy, everybody.
Please join us as we honor our great country with a performance of God Bless America. Ladies and gentlemen, Abraham Ruiz.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains, through the prairies, from the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet
Rockies for the Nationals for Boone Logan is going to take over. But first, we tell you that the day after every Rockies victory, 50% off your online order at Papa John's. The promo code's ROCKSWIN at papajohns.com. So Boone Logan here in the 7th. They'll see Anthony Rendon, Bryce Harper, and Ryan Zimmerman.
He's going to get the meat part of the lineup, 2, 3, and 4 for Washington. 46 ball game for Boone. Lefties are hitting .218 out on the road. ERA just .231.
If the Rockies have to piecemeal the inning, John Axford is firing bullets in their bullpen. Drew Storen is up in the Nationals bullpen. Rendon 0 for 3. They play him to pull with the shift on in the infield. Rendon was 0 for 5 yesterday, so nothing for 8 in the series. He did not play on Friday night. Sixth appearance for Logan. And Alan Porter says that's a strike, 1 and 2.
He's right. It was a strike at the bottom of the forward strike zone.
Rendon, in addition to hitting 21 home runs last year, produced 39 doubles and 6 triples. You know, Denard Span has been out for a while with back spasms. He's the guy who led the National League in hits last year. Had a little setback in his last workout. This ball's in the gap, left center field, and it's going to run close to the wall. Now it'll get underneath the glove of Parker, and it will be a double. It would have been a double anyhow. So a leadoff double by Rendon with Bryce Harper coming up.
You mentioned all the doubles that he hit last year. It was just on swings like this. Kyle gets over there, but he wouldn't have had a chance to even throw Rendon out. Goes off his glove. Do you see how close he was to the warning track? Anthony was running hard out of the box.
Bryce Harper beat the shift his last time up. He bounced one through the vacated area. He hit into the shift his other 2 at bats, a ground out and a line out. He's 1 for 3. Go ahead run at second base, nobody out. There's no way he's bunting. I'm not buying it. Pulls it back and it's out front. I don't think anybody.
You see some of those on the youth fields.
Yeah.
Nobody was buying it in the major league field.
I don't know if Bryce ever been asked to bunt, because he was hitting bombs when he was like 5.
I'm not sure he even bunts when they start batting practice. You know, most guys will lay a couple bunts down. I'm not even sure he does that.
He's obviously trying to pull the baseball to get Rendon to third, but it's almost made him pull off the baseball twice, Jeff.
Went with 2 sliders. Those are hard pitches to pull. When you're thinking, I've got to get my bat started sooner. I'm thinking about bringing my top hand over the ball to create some top spin, but now the ball's working against me, going away from me.
If he can get him, 0-2, he did, with a slider in the dirt. McHenry does a great job of freezing Rendon, and a big strikeout of Harper by Boone Logan. And Harper's he's hit everybody this year, but he's hit lefties too this year.
But I think that strikeout was set up by that fake bunt swing on the very first pitch. So then he falls behind 0-1. You throw him 2 sliders after that.
The Rockies will make a pitching change. They'll double switch. as they'll bring in Axford to face Ryan Zimmerman, who's really swinging the bat well. Reyes is going to come out. Descalso will go to short, and LeMahieu into second. 4-4, bottom of 7. Runner at second with 1 out for Washington.
For Washington. Hey fans, are you currently a Rockies season ticket holder? Did you know you can get $500 off private suites? Call 303 Rockies to check availability today. A sweet deal. I got some changes out on the field. Daniel Descalso moves from second to short with Jose Reyes coming out of the game. DJ LeMahieu, who had the first 6+ innings off, now in at second base, and on the hill, John Axford. Look back to that night on Friday night. You know, John comes in a situation where I'm sure Walt would have liked to have him more, you know, when the game wasn't so close. He had been struggling. He comes in and he preserves that lead. He gave you 1 inning, did walk a guy, but had a big strikeout, fist pump, maybe a confidence booster for John Axford.
Well, he inherits a situation here. 4-4 game. Rendon at second, the go-ahead run. And Ryan Zimmerman, who all of a sudden is heated up. He's hitting .400 his last 7 games. He has a pair of home runs today and a ground ball to third. It's a breaking ball for a strike. It's 0-1. We were discussing this on Friday. When you have a guy like Zimmerman who has a lot of moving parts, when he does get everything on time, you can see a torrid hot streak, and you can also see it go the other way. Well, right now he obviously is on time. 5 for 10 in the series. 0-1, and that curveball almost drifted over the middle of the plate. Ball, 1 strike.
Takes me back a few years to a right-handed hitting Brad Hopper.
Yes.
They both held their hands high. They had the leg kick. They'll drop the hands down, have to get them back up. But when they're on and everything's working together, they can carry a team.
That's a strike. It's 1-2. Jason Worth on deck. Between Zimmerman and Worth, they've driven in 3 of the 4 runs for Washington today. Worth the home run also.
throwing more curveballs in this at bat than we've seen in the previous month.
Two and two on Zimmerman. To right base hit. Cargo at one hop. They're going to send the runner. Here's the throw to the plate in time. Out at the plate, not even close. What a beautiful throw from Carlos Gonzalez as he cuts down Rendon by 15 feet. You could not have made a more perfect throw.
And it wasn't like Rendon hesitated after leaving second base. Matt Williams is going to come out. Asked, was there a block at the plate? No, it was just a good throw. The ball beat him. There, you know what? Michael gives him an opportunity to slide in and then just closes it off. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, what's a catcher supposed to do?
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all.
And at that point, then he can block it. Once you've received
the ball,
they're going to go take a look at it. This ought to take 10 seconds. That is a great defensive baseball play. Walt said it so well the other day. Somebody asked about Cargo and how many big hits, big home runs he hits. Finish that thought in a moment. Time for a Super Review. Whether you're on the road or at the game, everybody could use a second set of eyes. Instead of talking immediately about his offense, he said Cargo's so gifted he can beat you in so many ways. He said he can beat you with his glove, with his arm, and obviously with his bat. He just prevented the Nationals from going up here in the bottom of the seventh with his arm.
Yeah, and it was a one hop throw, give the catcher plenty of time to catch it and then apply the tag. He's not fighting a short hop. He's not doing any of that, but watch the throw. He gets behind it, gets rid of it, through the first baseman, one hop, nice long hop for the catcher. I mean, I don't even know why it's taking a minute and a half right now.
I don't understand it. He has the right to catch the baseball. He's not blocking the plate. The corner's available. And the throw beat him by 15, 20 feet.
Right. He's still out. I mean, it took a minute and a half to tell us that. I'm not sure why they did it. You know, Matt's looking at it with his hands on his hip. You can't go out. I didn't think you could go out and argue after the call has been made.
It is the sixth outfield assist for Carlos Gonzalez.
There's no violation of the home plate rule about blocking the plate.
He has an absolute right to drop his shin guards once he's received the ball. And he was in an athletic position to receive the ball. The plate wasn't blocked.
And the guy was nowhere close to being at home.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't understand why it took that long to.
But then I sort of don't know why Matt can go out there and talk. I thought that was part of the reasoning for going to the headset.
So Zimmerman is at second on the throw. There's 2 outs. And Jason Worth, who lined out to right when facing Axford 2 nights ago, is at the plate. home run, single, a walk. He has scored 2 runs. Zimmerman at second. Doesn't run as well as Rendon does. Ball, 1 strike on Worth. Were you surprised, by the way, that Bob Henley sent Rendon? As hard as that ball was hit, and it was 1 hop right at Cargo. This ball is short. Descalso's got it, and the Rockies are out of the inning despite having a guy at second base leading off the inning.
I'm glad he did, because you get this throw from Cargo right on the money. You're out. See ya.
By Southwest Airlines, book your low fare now at southwest.com. By Mike Shaw Subaru, always our lowest price and sales service guaranteed. And by StubHub, hey Rockies fans, did you know the StubHub app is personalized just for you? Get the StubHub app today. Rockies trying to take a road series for the first time since late May. It is 4-4 as we go to the 8th inning in our nation's capital. Ben Paulson, who doubled his last time up and scored the go-ahead run on a base hit by Kyle Parker, will lead things off here in the top of the 8th inning.
Going up against Drew Storn, who gave up the grand slam to Cargo the other night. ERA prior to that was down below 2, after up to 234. 1 home run. Yep, that was it.
Down the line, and a foul ball.
Zimmerman was 2 steps from the line. He was playing no doubles. It was still close.
outside. Two chop foul.
Constantly reminding himself. You'll see it sometimes with that left hand. He'll just kind of push it back towards the pitcher, reminding him stay centered. Go right back up the middle with your hands.
No swings for Brian Honora. 3-2. That ball's lined to right. He went down and got the slider. So the Rockies have the leadoff man on in the 8th in a 4-4 game. That Ben Paulson, every time you think, okay, the league's figured out a little bit. He struck out 5 straight times in the series. Double, single. And it typically happens late in games.
And it did. He had the double in the 6th inning. Now he goes back and goes down and gets a slider and pulls it to right field. The double he hit over the center fielder's head was on a fastball. He can hit. I know he struck out, like you said, 5 straight times, but he can hit. And he got the bunt.
Pitch missed on McHenry. And go for 3, ground ball to third, fly ball to center. And he struck out against Scherzer. Scherzer's 6 innings, 4 hits allowed, or 4 runs allowed on 8 hits. 1 walk was intentional. He struck out 10.
Oh, that hit it.
Got him in the hand, fortunately. I mean, I say fortunately because that was up around the head. The question is, did it hit the bat first?
Got the finger. As he was pulling the bat back. I think they might take a look at this to see if it was a.
What he contacted first.
What
He's pulling the bat
he was
back.
pulling it back.
This one.
They must have called it a foul ball.
Yes, they did.
Okay. To me, it looks like it's all fingers, not any part of the bat.
Another Subaru review. Whether you're on the road or at the game, everybody could use a second set of eyes. We're trying to determine, did it hit his fingers first. And, you know, again, we know it hit his fingers.
Okay.
And they're going to put him at first base. Good.
Correct call.
That is the correct call. You can tell by the reaction also. So now the Rockies have 2 on, nobody out, with Descalso coming up. With Descalso coming up, and you're in a bunting situation. A little bit easier, Jeff. You hit from the left side. A little bit easier now because that ball's running toward you, away from you with that hard sinker he throws.
You don't have to worry about the pitch climbing into your hands like Michael did. Clearly a hit by pitch. But you're right, for Daniel, it helps because you also want to bunt it towards third base. So it's a real natural bunt for a left-hander to go that way.
You got it down, and the throw to first is in time to a retreating Ryan Zimmerman. So Descalso executes the bunt perfectly. Second and third, 1 out. Kyle Parker and DJ LeMahieu the next 2. Parker already a big hit in this ball game in the 6th inning with 2 outs after striking out twice against Max Scherzer. He ripped a slider to left to give the Rockies a 4-3 lead at the time. He brought home Ben Paulson. Infield comes in naturally for Washington.
You got to cut down your swing. Said it the other night with Drew Storen with the hesitation. The timing could be thrown off. Cargo had the timing after the second pitch. Let's see if Kyle's made the adjustment. But cut down your swing. All you need to do is get the ball in the air. A lot of open spaces with the infield in.
Looked like he cut down on the swing on that pitch right there. He fouled it back, obviously. 2 strikes. Top of the 8th inning. 4-4. There's LeMahieu. He'll have his first at bat. Checked it. 1-2. By the way, we get emails from Major League Baseball on the replay, and not this last one, but the one on the Cargo throw, as we were discussing, they determined that there was no violation of the home plate collision rule.
Or should there have been?
That beautiful throw from Cargo. 1-2. This is back to the mound, and hung up now is Paulson. It's a tough read. He's got to see it past the pitcher, doesn't he, Jeff?
He does, but unless you're going on contact. Drew Storen jumped up high. Because he stayed in the rundown long enough, too, you got the same thing as you would have if you'd have thrown him out at first. You still have second and third.
DJ LeMahieu has been so good with runners in scoring position. 316 overall. A chance to give the Rockies the lead. McHenry's at third, Parker at second. That ball bounces, what, 6 inches higher, and the Rockies are going to have the lead. DJ hitting .326 with runners in scoring position. Rockies with 10 hits. They need an 11th. This is toward the hole. It's going to sneak through. 1 run is scored. Here comes Parker. He'll will score. DJ LeMahieu once again coming through with 2 outs. 6-4 Colorado. Wasn't the hardest hit ball, but he found an empty spot in the 5.5 hole.
44 RBIs on the season for DJ. Come in a double switch. Been watching this game, seeing how it's unfolded, home runs back and forth, and now you get a chance to be the hero and you come through. The Rockies have made Drew Storen and the Nationals pay for moving from that closer's role to the setup role in between that 5 and 6 hole. It goes back again to, Ben, if he went on contact, at least he stayed in that rundown long enough to allow Kyle to get to second base for that extra run.
How about this? He's now hitting .370 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. Blackman at the plate. Storen's had a forgettable weekend here against the Rockies, hasn't he?
He has 4 runs given up on Friday night. 2 more today. And we're not done yet.
DJ Danston off first, doesn't go out. No, it's on the corner. 1-1. This will be 0-2.
Steele, anticipate maybe a ball in the dirt. Drake, you're right. DJ is so clutch.
It's fouled off. Bullpen has had a lot of work this series. Right now it's Christian Bergman up. Christian normally works long haul relief. Cantley has the 9th. Justin Miller threw yesterday.
Justin
he'd
threw
be an option, but he went an inning and a third yesterday.
27 pitches. He was up the day before. So your options are not many. Christian, it's been a while since he's thrown.
One, two. That's outside. 2-2. See if DJ takes off on this pitch.
Been out there enough to see how quickly Drew is throwing to the plate. Wilson Ramos earlier in the ball game threw out Jose Reyes. 17 for 42 throwing out runners.
Not going, and swung on and missed. In the inning, DJ LeMahieu drives in 2 with an RBI with a 2-run single through the left side of the infield, and the Rockies have a 6-4 lead in the 8th.
the Rockies will continue their road trip to New York City. They'll be facing the Mets for 4. The Mets lost today to the Rays, so they're now 59-52. They lead the Nationals in the NL East by a game. They have a great pitching staff, as Drew and Jeff have been sharing with you, a 3.24 team ERA there. But they are last in the National League when it comes to their batting average. The Rockies can make a huge difference in the NL East race, even though it's just August, because 13 of their next 16 games, including this series, are against the Mets and the Nationals, who are fighting for that top spot. Guys?
Yeah, that looks to be one of the great races in baseball this year. And the Rockies trying to take 2 of 3 here in Washington. John Axford will continue on, and he bounces that one up there against Ian Desmond. Desmond is 0 for 3 in the game. He reached on an error in the 2nd inning.
John only threw 8 pitches that first time out last half inning. So he was 5 for 8. And that's why you also double switched a couple innings ago.
He hits the strike zone there. You saw the note on David Wright. He's going to begin a rehab stint next week. So the Mets may be getting another bat back, and their team leader, who's been out since April.
And a DH tomorrow, and then play the field on Tuesday.
There's the 1-1 on Desmond. That's sliced into the crowd foul, 1-2. The Nationals have not been great out on the road, but at home they have the 5th best mark in the National League, 31-22. They were 12-7 beginning play today against the NL West. And they have to go to the West Coast to take on the Dodgers and Giants. This is hard on the ground, but right at Ben Paulson. 1 out.
Well, Mickey Mouse brings the magic of Disney to the ballpark next Sunday, August 16th. When you purchase a Mickey ticket package, you'll receive a Mickey Collector's Edition New Era Rockies baseball cap.
Wilson Ramos, a single in the 6th inning off the right center field wall. Thought he hit a home run and kind of jogged, and all of a sudden Charlie Blackmon fired it into second, and he had one of the longest singles you'll ever see. Rockies up 6-4, bottom of the 8th inning. In the air to left, easy play out there for Parker. 2 outs. John Axford can finish this inning off. We're destined to get another one of those matchups. Tommy Kahnle and Bryce Harper in the 9th inning. Hopefully it will be an inconsequential one. Won't be traffic aboard. Taylor drove in a run with an RBI ground out to 3rd. Actually, he reached because Nolan tried to come home with it. It was a great idea. Unfortunately, his throw hit the back of Jason Worth. That's what tied up the game. The Rockies were ahead 4-3. Jonathan Papelbon, yeah.
Just came over in the trade prior to the 31st deadline.
That's a base hit for Taylor.
First hit of the series for Michael. Danny Espinosa.
He'll be the pinch hitter, yeah.
This is his 3rd pinch hit appearance this season, 0 for 2 prior. And both of them coming from the left-handed batter's box. Taylor at first, 13 for 16 stealing bases. He leads all National League rookies with those 13 stolen bases.
Yeah, but he ought not to be going
No,
here.
not with the pinch hitter up.
have a 2-run deficit as opposed to a 1-run deficit. Shift on for Espinosa, 1-0.
The manager has to give the youngster the stop sign.
He takes off. Wow. And he steals second easily. His 14th stolen base. It's a risk-reward deal. You get thrown out. It's a terrible play. And, okay, you're at second base. On a base hit, it doesn't tie the game. It makes it a 1-run deficit. Best be sure you're going to be safe.
Shows Matt Williams and how aggressive he is.
To Espinosa. Good curveball. Dropped in the lap of Espinosa. It's 1-2. For this pitch enough. He helps that 95, 96 mile an hour fastball.
And he obviously has a great feel for it today, because he's thrown it 6 times in the last inning in a third.
1-2 on the pinch hitter Espinosa. Got him. He got him with a fastball at 96. Good pitching from John Axford as he's asked to get 4 outs this afternoon. So we'll go to the 9th. The Rockies in front 6-4.
On tape to replay it. Appreciate that. Nope. You have to wait till the next party. Those party tricks come in handy sometimes on a broadcast. We got a good game going on.
I don't think.
Guess.
Yeah, it's not going to do it. But Jonathan Papelbon, 2-run record. Those are also including what he did with Philadelphia. And he said the only way he'd be traded is if he comes over here and the closer.
So Drew Storen took a step back to the 8th inning. Drew Stubbs is the pinch hitter. 2 spot in the lineup. Cargo's on deck. Fastball outside. Talk about this quite a bit. A lot of times when closers are asked to come into a ball game that's not a save situation, don't always have the same focus. Great year pinch hitting for Stubbs. 1-1.
I also think about Drew Storen. He'd been the closer, and then he's asked to go into an 8th inning role. What does that do to him? Now, I don't know if it's affected him these 2 games, but he doesn't look. He hasn't looked like the same pitcher this weekend as what we've seen in the past.
1-2. Papelbon, the saves leader for the Red Sox and for the Phillies. This ball lined to left field, but it's going to hang up for work. Who Wants Tacos? Fans follow @RootSports_RM on Twitter to receive alerts for the Rockies taco special when the Rockies score more than 7 in a game. Carlos Gonzalez, home run in the 1st, home run in the 6th, and as good a throw from right field as you will see to cut down Anthony Rendon and what would have been the go-ahead run. He's 2 for 4 lifetime against Papelbon.
This throw might have been just as important as any home run that he hit today. Washington's charging, but then you run into that out at home. You take it, even after the review. Just gun down the runner. There's so many storylines. Rockies hold on to win this ballgame. So many storylines that you can go with today. You go Cargo and his 2 home runs, the throw out at home, DJ coming up with the big hit. How about John Axford going out there giving you an inning in the 3rd, coming back for a 2nd inning?
He's pitched very well in this series for Walt. How about Ben Paulson throwing out 2 late hits?
Sure, that's what I mean. So many that you could look at and say this was a key point. No, this was. And you could talk back and forth about which was most important. And you hit 3 home runs off of Max Scherzer. Only the 8th time in his career that's happened. I mean, so much going on.
Yeah. Just remember who started the game for Washington. Yankees got shut out again by the Blue Jays. Blue Jays are 11-1 since that trade. Two balls, 2 strikes. Rockies with a 6-4 lead. 1 out in the 9th inning. Tommy Kahnle pitched the 9th inning. Kahnle will see the top of the order. Yunel Escobar, Anthony Rendon, and Bryce Harper. They're collected 2 for 12 today. 6 runs, 11 hits. They still had the 2 errors on the board. Nolan made an error early, and then they gave him an error on what probably should have been a fielder's choice. We heard inside the booth that they took that error away, but it's still up on the board. Papelbon strikes out Cargo, 2 outs. That'll bring up Arenado. Nolan 1 for 4, single back in the 1st inning.
For 11 in the series. Also, he was hit well here at Nationals Park. Get out.
Nationals Park. Did one yesterday.
1 for 3 lifetime against Papelbon.
Strikes on Arenado. Swing. This is popped up, playable, and foul ground for Zimmerman. Papelbon works a 1-2-3 ninth. Rockies looking for 3 more outs. Tommy Canley aboard when we come back. 6-4 Colorado. Eighth inning, DJ LeMahieu first at bat. He came in a double switch and a ground ball through the left side that would score 2 and give the Rockies a 6-4 lead they're enjoying right now as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Goodman, Jeff Hewson, Jenny Cavnar. A couple changes to tell you about. Drew Stubbs, who pinch hit, will stay in the ball game in left field. So it's Stubbs, Blackman, and Gonzalez in the outfield. And Tommy Canley, who on Friday earned his first major league save, and he got it by striking out Bryce Harper with a changeup.
Also did this on his 26th birthday. That was filthy. Canley in his last 8 1/3 has only given up 5 hits, a 172 batting average against, and 10 strikeouts during that time. And Walt said he's going to let him go out there in the 9th in these situations. He's kind of moved up and earned this right.
Yeah, he absolutely has. And again, the key for Tommy, and I mentioned this often enough with several other Rockies pitchers, Tommy can't create his own traffic. Walt frequently points out in the 2 years the Rockies have had Tommy Canley, it's rare, I mean rare, to see him squared up. The issues that he's had when he's had them are putting guys on. And then you get, you know, a soft hit, that sort of thing. Next thing you know, because of the traffic, you've given up a run or two.
And most of the time, if it has happened, it's happened with the fastball command. And you see more changeups now from Tommy at 90 miles an hour. Still has a 98 in his back pocket with the fastball.
Well, he went changeup beginning things, and it's a strike. I asked him about that the other day in the clubhouse, and he said that he did till recently feel more comfortable throwing the changeup, but he feels like he has a better feel now for the fastball. Here's the 0-1, and it's another changeup. It's 1-1. Again, it's strange to think of a guy who is 96 to 98 with a fastball relying so heavily on a changeup. You know, Trevor Hoffman famously did, but that was later in his career when he was 86, 87 with his fastball.
And that was his pitch then.
1-1, that's a changeup, and it's grounded through Nolan again. That was a replica of the ball that Desmond hit and went through Nolan. So Nolan has had a busy weekend. He's made some extraordinary plays, but two routine plays he has not handled, and this is routine.
It's as routine as if you were taking a ball during batting practice. See where the hands are? See how deep they are underneath his body? He doesn't have his hand out in front. But when you have it that deep, you have a tendency to pull up your hands in your head. When your head goes, your hand will pull up too.
And that has awoken the fans here in Washington. Anthony Rendon, a double in the 7th inning, 1 for 4. 1 for 9 in the series.
So many times Nolan has picked up his teammates. Well, now it's time for Tommy to pick him up.
That's 2-0. Again, he went with the changeup 2-0. It's 2-1. Bryce Harper is on deck. Rendon was not in the game on Friday, so he's not faced Canely. Called the strike, 3-2.
Not sure why Rendon was walking, because that's been called a strike. Wasn't the top of the 4th strike, and probably not where Tommy wants that pitch on 3-1. Change up, but it is still a strike.
Well, he's thrown virtually all changeups. So 3-2. What are we going to see?
I think a changeup.
It was a changeup, and it's fouled off. Is that concerning at all to you that he's throwing so many as if
he doesn't
have confidence at all in throwing the fastball, despite what he said the other day?
You know, in this situation, going out there for your second save, maybe, but he has so much confidence in the changeup. It has a lot of movement, and if it was just straight changeup, but this is going in there and then also diving.
They're going to go changeup again. Going to get a ground ball, perhaps.
do leave that changeup up, those are the ones you get hurt with.
At some point, especially now with Harper on deck, guys are going to start sitting soft.
Right. I mean, you have to show that you can throw a fastball.
Three-2. And it just missed with it. Now you have 2 on, nobody out, and Harper coming up. Very quickly, our CenturyLink link to what's next. Here's the pitching matchups in the 4-game set at Citi Field. John Gray, Jonathan Neves, Chris Russin, Matt Harvey, De La Rosa, DeGrom, Butler, and Syndergaard. Yeah, the great pitching does not abate for a while. The Rockies will face. This is now a bit of a mess with 2 on and nobody out near the thick part of the lineup. Bryce Harper, 1 for 4. Ryan Zimmerman, who's 3 for 4 with 2 home runs, is on deck.
How do you pitch Harper after what you did to him Friday? You started him off with the fastball on Friday night, finished him off with the changeup.
And he got the second 2 strikes on the changeup. We got a little bit of a chess match here. Harper knows that Canely has to pitch to him.
And that was smart from Michael behind the plate, because he flashed the very first sign and Tommy started to go. He said, no, timeout. Let me go through the sign so the guy at second base can't pick up what I'm putting down.
Yep, little inexperience. A little bit too much adrenaline flowing, and he understands that, but when the adrenaline's flowing, he got the sign, he wanted to go. Change up inside, it's 1-0. Harper, ground out, line out, base hit, and a strikeout. Struck out against Boone Logan in the 7th. 6-4 Colorado, 2 on, nobody out. And Harper pops it up, shallow right center. Cargo waving everybody off. Blackman, though, stays with it, and that is a huge first out. It was almost in no man's land. Everybody playing very deep to prevent the trail runner, Rendon, from scoring.
Harper's mad at himself for popping that up.
Well, he was smart. He had a lot of anger, but he didn't go through with it. Yeah, you see guys get hurt trying to do that.
But with the outfielders playing 2 or 3 steps deeper for the no doubles, that ball looked for a moment off the bat like it was going to drop in. Ryan
Zimmerman, an RBI in 7 straight, 2 solo home runs today. Double play candidate also. You know Nolan wants another chance.
It would be fitting if you could get a ground ball to Nolan. He turns to double play to end this. And I've been that guy. I've made 3 errors in the big league game too. I know that feeling. It's like, okay, that's not me. Give me one more chance.
Fastball, where's that? It was down in evidently, so it's 2-0 on Zimmerman. You got 2 guys back to back here in Zimmerman, if it gets to Worth, that are long in the tooth and will force you to throw a strike.
And not afraid to pass the baton to the next guy.
Escobar at second. He reached on the error by Arenado leading off the inning. Rendon walked on a 3-2 pitch. He's at first. One out in the bottom of the ninth. Been a good series here in Washington. Rockies trying to win their first series on the road since the final 3 days of May when they won a series in Philadelphia. And now it's 3-0. There is no parachute. This is Tommy Kahnle's game.
I just looked out. Daniel Descalso was giving him encouragement. DJ, they were both clapping their hands on their gloves, saying, "Okay, it's all right. Let's go. Stay positive."
Change-up, ball 4. Now they're loaded up for Jason Worth. Kenner trying to calm Tommy Kahnle down. Worth. A home run in the second, a single in the third, a walk in the sixth, and a ground ball to short. 2 for 3. You thought Zimmerman was patient. That is Jason Worth.
And he was watching how they pitched to Zim. Be careful. If you throw a first pitch changeup, he might be sitting on that.
Well, I mean, at some point you have to, because he's literally thrown about 90% changeups.
17 pitches, I think maybe 2 pitches have been fastballs.
Especially early in the count. Bases loaded, 1 out. He went changeup again, and it's inside. I don't know if I've ever seen a pitcher, this is Trevor Hoffman included, throw this many changeups in 1 inning.
With somebody that has a 97, 98 mile an hour fastball.
And the changeup again, 1-1. Watch if you're in the Rockies uniform right now in that dugout. 1-1. Oh, the fastball showed up, and Worth was sitting soft.
Surprised
it had to
him.
Be.
Right, shaking his head. The swing tells you he was sitting change up. That's almost as bad a swing as you're going to see a major league hitter take. When he's guessing, that's the swing. Now you have him where you want him. If you want to go back to a fastball, you do. Now he doesn't know what's coming.
One and 2. Mike McHenry is such a smart receiver. You got to be careful though. You turn that glove over, you give away that it's an off-speed pitch unless it's a deep. Guy like Rendon can pass it along to the hitter. So you've been in that situation before.
Yeah, and that's all you want to know as a hitter. Maybe sometimes not location, but if it's going to be off-speed.
Not going to pat the ground for a fastball. 2 and 2. Fastball got him, 2 outs. Blew him away at 95. So it'll come down to Tommy Kahnle and Ian Desmond.
Everything had been down into the zone until this last pitch. Tommy knows how big of a pitch it is. Up underneath the letters. With a fist pump from Tommy. Work's not done yet.
Nope. Dangerous man in Ian Desmond. 0 for 4 though today. Desmond a more aggressive offensive player. He fires at that 97-mile-an-hour fastball. It's 0-1.
The first batter, he started off with the fastball today.
Interesting. Two outs, bases loaded, 0-1 on Desmond. 6-4 Colorado. Change up, ground ball is short. This should do it across the diamond. Ball game over. What a job by Tommy Kahnle. He picks up Nolan Arenado, and the Rockies take 2 of 3 in Washington. 6-4 the final. Axford gets the win. Kahnle his second save as he saves the ball game on Friday and this afternoon. And he withstood a bases-loaded situation in the heart of that Washington order to get it done. And the Rockies win on a day that Max Scherzer started.
And you also win a series for the first time since the end of May when you were out in Philadelphia, out on the road. So what a victory today for those guys.
What a great win. So many storylines to talk about, and that's what they'll